Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's make some coffee filter flowers together. Crafty Cat Incorporated said that she would like to see how I make mine so fluffy, and asked was she serious, and she said if I had time, so I have time to do it today. I'm going to go over some steps for us just so we're all on the same page. You're going to need scissors, glue. If you want yours to be colored, some ink or watercolors, whatever you need to do to color your things up. You're going to need floral wire. You're going to need some floral tape, but all I have is washi. I didn't go. And you're going to need wire cutters. The wire cutters would be to cut these off. And of course, you're going to need coffee filters. So what you need to do is count out 10 coffee filters, lay them flat. Grab 2 of those 10 coffee filters that you have counted out. Take them, fold. You know, this is one of those, you know how they say mindless crafts? This is one of those crafts that I would say is definitely easy to do with little to zero thinking, because you can take your whole entire coffee filter pack and cut your flower shapes. So now you're just going to take your scissors and cut like that. And you have your coffee filter petal flower. You open it up and you have your flower. You need 10 of those. So once you get 10, what I recommend is if you want to color your paper, now is the time to do it. So for example, if you want to color it blue, green, yellow, orange, whatever color you want to do it now, okay? This was done with Salty Ocean, I believe, and it's still drying a little bit. I went a little bit crazy, but that ink pad is really porous, I guess, not porous, has a lot of ink in it, so almost the entire thing got wet. And then this is a distress, a small one, and this is how this looks. I'm going to tell you that the difference between, and then I did these, which I'm going to tell you right now. The differences between, and we're only talking about inks, the ones that I have and I've used. The differences between these is the size, okay? So I have already started inking up some in red, and I'm going to show you that. I don't know what brand this is. It's an off-brand probably that I got that I thought would be a great deal. Maybe this came from Joann's. I don't know, because it has 0 labeling on it. So you see how this is right here? So you just take this and go over it just like that. If you want it to be darker, you apply more pressure down, or you go over it more than one time. So that is how it will look. And you can do this to 1 petal or all 10. All right, so that's how that looks on that one. With the orange one, this is how it looks on here. And I do need to do a few things to these. I want to turn them over and do the back side of them. And you see how it covers totally different, because you have a bigger piece if you were just going on the edge. But I'm starting from the middle because I need to cover this entire thing, okay? So that is the difference between those ink pads. And if you want yours to be covered front and back, that's fine. I really wouldn't recommend covering front and back on all of them, because that just is a waste of your ink and time, because you don't need to do that. The way that if you saturate one side plenty, it will be enough. I would recommend doing maybe 2 or 3 front and back ones, only because it's easier to do. And then with this Salty Ocean, which this is one of my favorite ink pads, the big ones. I really like the big ones versus the small ones. The small ones are very good for travel though. This thing has just a lot of ink in it. So you see how, and I just did it the same pressure that I did the other one. So you just need to be mindful of that if you want, you know, however you want your flower to look. You need to be mindful of that. And I'm not telling this to anyone in particular. I'm just saying in general, that's how you want it to look. Now, I really, really like this though. I love this method. Coloring up with the acrylic paint. The one thing that I did wrong is I just put it in the water as is. If you want yours to be pigmented or have these little sparkling things, cut your paper first. Cut the filters first, Don't put them all in there, because when I go to cut these off, let's see, I'll grab two really quickly, because now that I have them, I have to use them as is. I'm not going to re-wet them, re-cook them in the oven. Not going to do that. But since I have paper out, I probably will go ahead and cook more. Because I am into that now for some reason. And it smells like, this one smells really good because I did put a drop of fabric softener in there. And I was kind of concerned that I was going to burn something up. But, you know, you see how it's all pigmented right there, which is a shame that we're going to lose so much of that pretty color. And even the browning of the flower. Because, you know, when flowers start to wilt, they do turn brown and shrivel. So that's really cool. But you see, it still has some on there, but I wish I would have just thought about that before I did that. So anyway, those are some of the techniques that I have learned in the process of creating these flowers. Okay, so now that we have our 10, you have your 10 petals cut out. We're going to use orange. So let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the ones that are just one side versus double-sided. And I'll tell you why in a few seconds. All right, so we have about 3 or 4 that's kind of like double-sided. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire. If you have wiggly wire or curved wire, no big deal. Just straighten it out. And then you're going to take a pen, a pencil, or even your needle nose pliers. You're going to take your pen and roll the wire over. So you have a little hook. You can close it if you like. You don't need to, but if you like, you can. And this is the stamen portion, because we don't have a real stamen. And you don't need one for these flowers, but if you like to have a stamen, go for it. Okay, so now you have, this is not colored and this one is colored. We're going to take the not colored side and push it through almost to the top. I'm just going to lay this down for better visual purposes, but you can do this and hold it in your hand. You're going to just put some ink, some glue around the edge, and you are going to pick this, well, hold it in your hand when you're doing this. You can if you like. And I just bring mine down a little bit. You see how far I'm bringing it down? So this is where the piece is, and I'm just going to fold this up and I'm going to twist this right here. Again, I am going to link the original tutorial in the description box, so maybe I'll put it in the iCard, and you just do like that, because this is not my idea. But I love her tutorial. It's very quick and easy, unlike this one. It's going to be a little bit longer, only because I'm doing much more talking than she did, and much more showing you various things. I like to give you everything that I know, so it's a lot easier. You're going to take, again, the back side of it, and you're going to just take and twist up. And you see you're twisting up on that twist. This reminds me of Dum Dum Pops, lollipops, because the paper reminds me of that. Again, the back side up. And now you have this just like that. And you're going to go again to right here, and you're twisting it. I'm going to show you the entire twist, how I do mine, only because why not? Okay, so now I'm just going to take it colored as is, and I'm going to twist up. And again, you're just making this piece right there. All right, so we're almost to the end. Now I'm putting the white side up, or the non-colored, but if you have yours colored on both sides, then it really won't matter. This won't matter at all. And now I'm going to take color side up on this one. And again, I'm just twisting it, twisting it, twisting it. And grabbing it and being a little bit forceful is okay. Now I have these that are kind of semi-colored on both sides. We're going to use the one that I can actually see this color on both sides for last. We're just going to take the same entire process, always trying to go right in the center. And that's the good thing about folding your papers. I had tried this last year, but I cut the center out because I was like, how do they do this? Duh. You need the center. You always need the center. The center is the heartbeat of the flower, right? So now you see how we have it on both sides. We're going to take the most pigmented side and we're going to leave that out. So this one is least pigmented. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. You can use hot glue at this time or glue. I'm just going to use the glue and I'm just going to run it all around this entire flower. And the only reason why I'm doing this, I didn't do this yesterday, but the reason why I'm doing it today is because I feel like it holds all the rest of the flower together. I'm just going to push up first. You see how you see your ink, your glue, not your ink, your glue. All right. So I'm just going to press and turn, press and turn, press and turn, press and turn. And now here's where you need to have your floral tape. I have washi tape. For me to talk a lot of trash about washi, I sure use it a lot, right? But I know that this is not going to stick. So I'm just using this as a fill-in for the real thing. I really didn't want to buy more floral tape because I have some. I just need to find it. But sometimes out of necessity, you will buy the stuff that you really need at that moment. And no one's forcing me to make these flowers, but I like for the project to look complete. All right, so here we are with this crazy tape. I'm just going to push this tape up some just so it can stay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our flower and we're going to fluff it out. And you see, even how we've crunched it up, it's okay. I really think the petals, the cutting of the petals makes the flower. So, you know, if you only use 2 or 3 things, then that's fine too. Just cut the petals really nicely. So I would recommend cutting it in a smaller size versus half of, you know, cutting it. So I recommend cutting it all the way down, you know, as much as you can and cutting it versus maybe just doing a half and doing, you know, that. Does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right, so this is how we have created our paper flower. I love these things. I definitely recommend assembly line. It works so much better, assembly line method versus doing one at a time. You know, cut all your paper down, cut your flowers, color them, whatever you're going to do, and then assemble. Definitely makes more sense. And I love these. These are super duper cute. I can't wait to play with my blue ones. All right. So if you have any questions, if you'd like for me to do it again, let me know in the comment section. Until tomorrow, because we have another project tomorrow on Friday, happy crafting.